I have always admired Dallas's ability and in any pursuit that he deals in to basically research every possible angle in the problem or even in the solution, no matter what he is dealing with, probably researches more than anybody I've ever known.
When I think about my dad, he seems to me to be one of the smartest people that I know. I've always been able to call him up and ask him a question, whether it's about a computer issue, some technology issue, whether it's about my car, my boat. He just seems to know a lot about a lot of things, and so it's always been a valuable asset for me. I always knew I could call him and ask him something, and he would almost always know the answer, and if he didn't, he would go get it.
One of the things my father did for me when I was growing up was when I graduated from college, he had been running our family business for about 5 years at that point. And I was hoping he was going to give me a job, but he didn't. He told me no, he didn't have room for me, and I needed to go out on my own and do my own thing. So I did, and about 3 years later, I was successfully selling Yellow Pages for Bell South. I had his first grandchild, and he called me and asked me to come to work for him. I used to tell Jeffrey he was the reason I got a job working with my dad, but I would never give back the amount of things that I learned by getting out on my own, and I think that was something that was very meaningful to me.
Dallas has one unique characteristic that a lot of folks don't know about, is that he was the first person to teach a computer course at Georgia Tech. He had an accounting background when he went to teach at Tech, and when they wanted to start a computer course, they chose Dallas to do it, and I'm sure he did a great job with it.
We just happened on this little island. We'd been on a cruise, and it was a diving and fishing resort off the coast of Belize, and we ended up buying the place after a few months of looking into it. So we moved to Belize and stayed there for about 6 months out of the first 2 years, and back and forth for the next 3 or 4 years till we were finally able to sell. But that was just another one of our fun adventures we've had in our life.
The thing that I've most been impressed with about Dallas Gay is that when you see a problem that needs to be fixed, you commit to it and fix it. And you don't just commit to it for the short run, you commit to it to the long haul.
It's my great pleasure to be able to recognize and thank Dallas Gay for his years of work for Alachee Nature Science Center. Dallas took his love of nature and his passion for children outdoors and combined it with his business experience 11 years ago and came on our board of trustees. And the majority of that time he served as treasurer. Our organization has grown to serve over 35,000 school students every year, in addition to providing hiking and family opportunities for thousands and thousands of people, and added a nature academy for preschool, kindergarten, and first graders. So thank you, Dallas, for all you've done, for all your leadership and your passion that you brought to Alachee Nature Science Center.
So once he's committed to a board or a cause or working on his property in LJ, driving his tractor, he's obviously done some tremendous work, life-changing work with the drug awareness program. So that's obviously something he's probably committed to larger than most anything. But that's been obviously a huge impact on a lot of people.
Dallas realized that there was a larger issue here in our community. He was actually serving on our hospital board at the time, and came to us and brought that issue as he saw it to our attention. That's been about a decade ago, and when I think back over that last 10 years and all that he has accomplished, I think about persistence. His vision, his creativity has inspired so many to help want to join in this effort. And as a result of that, he has helped to touch many lives that he will actually never know.
Over 1,500 Georgians died from a drug overdose last year. Dallas has single-handedly been responsible for all major legislation around opioids in the state of Georgia for the last 5 years. As the government affairs representative for Northeast Georgia Health System, it has been one of the highest honors of my career to work side by side with Dallas to fight the opioid epidemic in our community and our state.
His passion over the last 8 years to educate consumers, to educate the medical field, is off the charts. He pours every day of his life into trying to change this and make people understand the dangers that they take on by taking opioids if they don't manage it.
In 2015, the Medical Center Golf Tournament raised almost $300,000. That money was used to equip first responders on how to use the anti-overdose drug. That has been spread throughout the entire state. There's over 100 responders that have been trained. We know that 74 kits have been used, 25 of those here in our own Hall County.
It's that commitment and that bulldog mentality of wanting to commit to things and seeing them through, especially when you have a vision that there is an answer to this and that this can be solved. And you did this and still have this with the opioid crisis issue.
I could not be more proud of the things he's accomplished, the laws that he's helped get passed to help all of us understand the dangers of opioids.
Dallas has a very kind heart and has, I would say, benefited the state of Georgia in its opioid abuse program more than anybody in the state.
And you realize you really only live once, and how you apply your time and what you commit to. You have one shot to do that, and I think Dallas takes advantage basically of every day of his life. He's gonna learn something. He's gonna do something. He's gonna commit to something. He's gonna help somebody.
And he cares about this community. Family, friends, community is important to him, and he's certainly done a great deal to make this community the place that it is to live, a much better community, and a place that I'm proud to be here and share with you.
My grandfather is certainly one of the most dedicated and passionate people I have ever known. And growing up, I mean, it was just so inspirational to watch how determined he was and how much he gave of himself in everything that he did. I mean, he gave 110%, in everything that he was asked to do and everything he committed to himself. And, just watching what he's done with this program has been so incredible. And I know I speak for all of his grandchildren when I say we could not be more proud of him.
He's always been a great father, grandfather, husband, a friend. He's got lots of friends. He does a lot of good in our community and our state. And I'm just proud to call him my husband, and I love him very much.
And I think about how all of us experience grief, we experience tragedy, but I don't know that we all will take that tragedy and that grief and turn it into something that can make such a difference in people's lives. That really is a selfless sacrifice. That's a true hero. That is Dallas Gay.